What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here, bringing you my top 12 fantasy football running backs to target in this year's 2024 fantasy football season. At running back 12, we have Joe Mixon moving on from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Houston Texans this year. Loving this new offense for him, coming off a year where he had 1,400 total yards, 12 touchdowns, and 52 receptions. We saw Devin Singletary be productive in this Texans offense last season. I'm looking for Mixon to improve upon what we got from him last year with the Bengals. At RB11, I have Derrick Henry moving from the Tennessee Titans to the Baltimore Ravens. This is a Ravens offense that had Gus Edwards rushing for 13 touchdowns last year. Loving this spot for Derrick Henry. He's very much an improved running back over Edwards here, and also could threaten to lead the league in rushing touchdowns this season. At RB10, I have Isiah Pacheco. The Chiefs offense, I'm expecting to be improved. Adding Hollywood Brown, adding Xavier Worthy in the draft. You got to think that there's going to be more potential for scoring here with the Chiefs' improved passing attack, which Pacheco actually proved to be a part of last season. So looking for Pacheco again coming in at RB10. At RB9, I have Travis Etienne. I loved his pass game involvement last year, 58 catches on 73 targets. He even added 11 rushing touchdowns. He did have an ugly 3.8 yards per carry, but many are expecting an improved Jags offense this year. And I think Etienne continues to take that next step in his development. At RB8, we have Kyren Williams. I understand that most are worried about Blake Corum and the McVay offense wanting a two-back system, but that is not something that I am overly concerned with. Williams was such a threat in all three zones last year for this offense, red zone, passing offense, and on the ground. He totaled 1,300 yards last year with 32 receptions and 15 total touchdowns, with averaging 5 yards a carry. I just don't see him coming off the field as often as some think with Blake Corum in town. At RB7, I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor. The next two backs for me kind of fall a bit in terms of consensus ADP. Again, I like what we saw out of Anthony Richardson. We did not see him play with Jonathan Taylor, though. And now we have an offense where we don't know exactly what we're going to get from a full year of Anthony Richardson. We also know with the mobile quarterbacks, they don't necessarily throw the football to the running back all that often. Taylor had been a big part of the team's passing offense in prior seasons, and he may lose out on some rushing touchdown upside if Anthony Richardson decides to take it himself. So for me, Jonathan Taylor still a very good running back, but checking in at RB7, and a running back that's in a very similar situation coming in at RB6, Saquon Barkley, coming from the Giants to the Eagles. Listen, I love this Eagles offense. I love this spot for Saquon Barkley, but you can't help but look at what Jalen Hurts has done on the ground, especially in the red zone, and wonder if the touchdown opportunities will fully be there for Saquon Barkley. They also, again, don't typically throw to the running back all that often. We saw DeAndre Swift take a step back in receiving yards last year and reception totals last year as part of this Eagles offense. Again, I like Saquon Barkley. I think he'll score points, but for me, he is my RB6. Make sure you click that link right there. Get my top 5 fantasy football running backs for the 2024 season. And good luck, everybody, in their fantasy football drafts.